All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings Leads. Welcome to the call. Let me know that you are seeing me and my screen. So you should be able to see myself and the Listings to Leads homepage. And we'll get started here in just a few seconds, maybe 15 to 20-ish or so. So yeah, go ahead and type in, let me know that we are good to go. We're going to be walking through how to win listings easier than ever. Got a client using the tool that we're going to talk about today, 3.5% commissions, 3.5% for the listing side. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. We're also going to talk about how to use these to actually generate seller leads, how to engage seller leads out of your database, out of your farm, out of social media. So many great ways of using this. All right. So a ton of things that we're going to be covering today. So make sure you're paying attention. Try not to get distracted with other things because you'll miss something and then you'll be like, wait, where in the world did he get that from? And I don't want you to be doing that. I want you to make sure that you are seeing everything that we're doing here today. Okay. So again, go ahead and type in that we're good to go. And let me know who was it that commented a little bit earlier. Lisa. Awesome. Yes, you should be excited because, excuse me, when you can nail the listing presentation, you are going to be so much more confident. You're going to be a lot more comfortable. You're going to be more excited. You're not going to be as nervous when you go into a listing presentation because you're going to have the marketing plan that really answers the three questions that sellers have, right? Sellers want to know, how are you going to get my home sold? What are you going to do that's different than everybody else? And why am I paying you 2.5 to 3.5%? All right. These are three questions that if you can answer them, everything else becomes very straightforward. I've seen some trainings on this from people, from coaches and other things where, oh my gosh, it is so complicated. It's scary. Like all the scripts and all the things that they want you to do. If you just literally, if you walk in with this, you are going to do awesome. All right. So George mentions that my screen might be locked up. Is it my screen or is it George? Let me know if we're good. Cindy, if you got any feedback that you want to share with anybody using this, I would love to have you do that. Cindy, you got a little bit of experience using this, so would love to hear from you, Cindy, with anything that you might want to share with us as we go through here. And just super quick, because again, we got a lot to cover today. But I just dropped 2 email blasts. They're live on the dashboard. Click here for more information. And this will give you a little bit more information. And I did also just post a video. And the video, let me click back here. Listings to Leads Mastermind Group. And so there's a video right here where I walk you through the whole thing. But I'm going to spend just 1 or 2 minutes. If I click through that pop-up, scroll down, and there's a section called Database Email Blast. There are 2 emails we just dropped, and there's one for the seller. I'm also over at the seller, mouse over it for the buyer. So I'm going to click on the one for the seller. They both work the same way. The one for the buyer will automatically link to the price reduced landing page. The one for the seller is going to link to your agent website. And what we're doing is we're letting people know, hey, Mark, the rates just went up. All right. We can't ignore reality. What we can do is contextualize it in a way that our audience can understand it and see what the benefit might be to them, if any. And so for the sellers, we're talking about the fact that, hey, rates just went up, but there are still serious buyers. All right. There's still serious buyers. Pricing matters, but the right marketing plan matters even more. And this dovetails perfectly with what we're talking about today. So this is something I would get out today. You can copy it and put it into your CRM. You can send it through Listings to Leads. If I click on the preview tab right here, you'll see the full email, and right there, get your home value and my 100 plus point home marketing plan. So that's the call to action. It automatically links to your agent website where you can see, boom. They can also, it works for buyers, and then get your home value. So this email, you can just click and copy, drop it into your CRM, get the headline, send it out. All right. Always send yourself a test email first to make sure you're good to go. If you want to edit it first, you can edit it here, or you can edit it after it gets into your CRM, either way. If you want to send it through listings to leads in the edit section, just click on your seller leads. That one's for seller leads. And you can schedule it, send a test email, send it. You can copy code. But again, to send it through your CRM, I think the easiest thing to do is click on preview and then just copy it. It's even got your listings to lead signature. So copy it, get it into your CRM, and send this to all of the seller leads in your database. Send it out today. All right. People are going to have access to that. It's going to be awesome. If you have any questions on that, get into the mastermind group. Talk to me there. Tell me how you do with it. Would love to hear your feedback. But we get people getting listings. And the one for the buyer, again, is talking to the buyers. In fact, let me just show you super quick. The one for the buyers is great because for the buyers, we talk about the fact that there are other things that are pretty new, such as the SALT deduction. All right. And mortgage insurance is now deductible again. And that when rates go up, some of the casual buyers may step back. There are going to be sellers that are going to be more motivated to maybe negotiate, make a price cut, do a seller credit. So if you're a buyer, the rates obviously matter, but it's the entire picture that really matters. And again, I don't want you to get scared to talk to buyers, to talk to sellers. I don't want you to be nervous or ignore it. I want you to address it head on, because those that want to buy or want to sell, they're going to buy or sell. It's just a matter of whether it's going to be with you or somebody else that communicates effectively with them what's actually going on and how they can benefit from it. All right. Any questions? Are we good on that one? We're going to get those out. As soon as this call is done, I want you to get those out the door. Okay. Let's talk about, we're going to be a little bit all over the place today, but we are going to start with when you got a listing presentation, or if you got a hot seller lead, and how to create the 100 plus point home marketing plan featuring their home on the cover, their name, their address, and then their home all the way throughout. And every image in here is of their home. So that's their home. A little hard to see, but you can see there's their home. And there's a QR code. We got text codes. We got domains. So we're going to walk through that first. Then I'm going to walk you through creating one. In fact, let's take a look at one here. You see, I've got listing presentation, 8567 Gold Lane, Folsom, California. And if I click on the Flipbook, and so this will be what I present at my listing presentation. Now there's a PDF I can print as well, but as I'm going to be walking through this with a homeowner, that's their home on every single page. This thing absolutely will change how you do listing presentations. All right. They can scan the QR code. They can look at that domain. That's their home address, 8567 Gold Lane .worldsbestlisting.com. And right from your Flipbook, boom, they can scan the QR code right on their phone. They can send a text code. And they're able to see the fact that you are ready to go, that you are dialed in. 27 pages of walking through, and again, answering the 3 questions. What are you going to do to sell my home? How are you different from everybody else? And why am I paying you all of this money? All right. When you got a presentation like this, you're able to charge more commission. You're able to have quicker and easier conversations. You're not going to feel nervous, maybe guilty, maybe like you're a bit of an imposter, like, I know, oh my God, I know there's a hope they don't interview the top agent in the area because, oh my God, they're so much better than me. How am I ever going to get a listing? I've had clients that are months in the industry nail listing presentations using this right here. All right. So again, I've seen some of these trainings and they just, oh my gosh, it's memorizing a novel with all of the steps and all of this and all of that. Come on. You go to the door, you introduce yourself, do a quick tour of the property, compliment them on a few things, right? Build a little bit of rapport. And then before you get to pricing, before you get to anything else, all right, walk through this because after this, they're going to trust you on pricing more. They're going to trust you on commission more. They're going to trust you on everything a lot more because you just walked in with a 26, 27 page presentation that featured their house. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is doing this. All right. Everybody else is walking at the 2 to 3 page, maybe something or other, or they've got something from Canva that's not interactive, that doesn't feature their home throughout. All right. So nobody else is doing something so comprehensive and powerful and interactive and something that you can create these in 3 minutes. It's literally 3 minutes, not even that. Like literally you can create this in about 1 minute and then about a minute and a half for it to generate and then you're off and running. So let's do that first. Let's go ahead and say, hey, you know what? You've got a listing presentation coming up. It might be in an hour from now. It might be tomorrow. So let's walk through that first, and then we're going to go through some other powerful ideas for you. Okay, so we got a listing presentation. So you're going to come into listings to leads, go to add listing manual, status, listing presentation, seller name. And I'm going to say Geor George. You know, there's a George Rowe in my high school. G Rowe. I'm just going to put some stuff there so nobody actually gets the email. Gmail.com, phone number 415. If you don't put the email and phone number there, that's fine. You don't need to. Leave headline alone. Don't put anything in the headline. For street address, I'm going to do 947 Elm Drive. I know, so original. Folsom, California, 95630. Now, I've actually got a kind of a dummy property description that I use. I'll show you that a little bit later that I pop in there. If you want to put in TBD, if you don't have to, but hey, if you got it, might as well, because later I can move this from listing presentation to just listed, and then just listed to open house, and then open house to pending, and then to just sold. And I'll just say property. But again, all of this part right down here is optional. You don't need to do that. All you need is a street address and their name. Upload images. So you're going to get an image of their home. And I'm going to use that one. You can, and I'll show you a couple of ways to get images from their home. Go to take a photograph, go to Google Maps, right? And use Google Street View. And I'll actually show you maybe taking a Google, we're done, right? It's literally that easy. So this is going to take about a minute and a half to generate, and we are off and running. So before we even get to that, I'll just mention, check this out. Send to buyer leads. So right here, VIP buyer access, a new listing might be yours before anyone knows. This is a great email to send to your buyer leads. Again, I can just copy and paste it into my CRM and send it out. I can send it to my buyer leads and listings to leads, right? Either way. So this is a great email that you might want to consider getting out, because it's one of those things where it shows the people in your database that you've got access to things that maybe other people don't. So it just makes you a little bit more valuable in the eyes of the people in your database. And then you might be able to walk into that listing presentation with a short list of people that, hey, you know what? I've sent this to a few of the people in my database, and I've already got 7 people that were interested in perhaps seeing the property, right? Nobody knows the address or anything about it, but they're actively looking and they want to see anything that comes up that's a 3 to 4,000 square feet in the Folsom area. And so just a little bit more honey for the seller. Now, while we wait for that to generate, let me just show you the landing page. This is something that sometimes people will send ahead of the listing presentation. Sometimes people don't. You don't have to. All right. You don't need to send a bunch of stuff ahead of the listing presentation. If you want to, you totally can. And again, some people will do that. When they fill this out, so here's the landing page. I can send it via text. I can send it via email. And when they get it, again, they're going to see that's their home, right? That's their home on the cover. And they're going to be able to see, right, George Rowe, right? It's a little bit small, but they can make it out. Download now. And when they put in their name, email, and phone number, you're going to get notified that they downloaded it. And then they're going to be directed to the Flipbook. So they'll go to the Flipbook, which we're going to see here in about a minute. They're going to be able to go through it. The really cool thing that a lot of people tell me is the homeowners, if they do that, they will go through it but they'll just glance at it. They're not going to look at it in a lot of detail. They're just going to glance at it briefly. So you are still going to have a great opportunity to walk through it with them. All right. And I've even had a few people tell me that they've actually gotten the listing because the homeowner did go through it and was like, holy cow. Okay. You know what? We get it. All right. What price are you thinking? And they've actually done this over the phone and over email. All right. So I've had that happen a few times. So here's our Flipbook. All right. The complete marketing plan to get your home sold, prepared for George Rowe at 947 Elm Drive, Folsom, California. I got my introduction. And then look at that. That's George's house. George, you had no idea, right? Welcome, George, to your new home. And so this is just going through look at that, 947 Elm Drive, Folsom, California. Look at that domain, 947 Elm Drive .worldbestlisting.com. Look at that. Is that not awesome or what? This is so beautiful. Maps and local, school, the brochure is ready. My reviews, they can see my reviews right there. Other listings I've gotten. And then I've even had this. So this is a little bit of an advanced topic, but I've got it set up so that every time I add a listing status, listing presentation, expired, FSBO, or canceled, there are a few sections that get added to it so they can see, for example, I do professional videos for all of my listings and I tell them why. And I put in an example. I do 3D tours of all of my listings and I put in a sample so they can see it. There's a video of my 100-point home marketing plan. So these are a little bit more advanced and I cover those sometimes. We got the QR code. Let's go ahead and scan the QR code if you've got the ability to, but I'm going to do it right now and I will confirm with you either way if it worked or not. And yeah, there we go. 947 Elm Drive, right? Little bit blurry, but you got the point. You can see it. And it's just a mobile responsive. It's got everything else, right? Everything else that was in the one that we just looked at. Now it's just mobile. That's all. That's the only difference. Oh my God. And how long did this take us? Did it have to go into Canva? Did I have to edit a bunch of stuff? Did I have to spend a half hour putting this together? No, I didn't. This is absolutely gold. And then check this out. If you got your client review website set up with listings to leads, it's going to go right there as well. And that's going to be on the back inside cover. all of your reviews, Google, Zillow, Facebook, Testimonial Tree. I think there's a few others. So they're going to pop in here. All right. So you got your client review website. They can download, they can scan the QR code or click in the Flipbook to download a PDF guide and get a little bit more information. The ability to create this that easy is absolutely nuts. Download listing presentation. So I can download the PDF so that way I can print it. All right. So you're going to want to be able to print it because I want to take the hard copy with me because I'm going to leave this behind. All right. So when I go into a listing presentation with somebody, I'm going to have the Flipbook version up and ready on my laptop, my tablet, whatever I'm using. But I'm also going to have a hard copy to give them and leave behind because they're never going to throw that away. They're going to keep it right there. And they're probably going to scan that QR code, right, a few times every day. They're probably going to go to that link. Yeah, they're going to keep that. No problem. All right. Let me think here what I want to go through. Yeah, let me show you here on Amazon. Let me give you these links. If you don't have a binder, you're going to want to have a binder. You may have one at your real estate office. You may have one at home already. These are cheap enough. I've got both of them. I've got the spiral and I've got the thermal. So I've got both of them, $59, and this one's $52. Super, super cost effective. I don't want to say cheap. Maybe they're cheap, maybe they're not. I don't know. But I know you can spend $200 to $300 to $400 on a binder. And I haven't seen really, I'm sure there are some cheaper, but I don't want it to be breaking every 2 months and having to go buy another one. Both of these seem to be pretty good quality. In fact, I bound this one with the thermal and I bound this one with the spiral. Now, a couple of tips when you're printing, some people will go and they will get nicer paper. You can use laser paper. Sometimes people can go get just a better quality paper. It's up to you. If you're going to use laser paper, you might consider using a nicer paper for the front and back cover just to give it a little bit more weight. And if you're going to do spiral, which I didn't do on this one, get the cover. And I don't have a link to it, but see how on my thermal, there's a kind of a plastic cover. Next time I do a spiral, I would add a little cover. Okay. Does that make sense? A clear, whatever this is, acrylic or plastic or something or other. This is fine, but it would just be a little bit nicer if the first page and the back page were heavier. And then I had a little binder cover on it. That's all. Otherwise, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I've literally have had people win a listing presentation. They print it, didn't have time to bind it, didn't have the ability, whatever. And so they just sat it in like a $1 Walmart folder. So they had, I don't have one here, but the folders, like the school folders, right? Pockets on the left, pocket on the right. And they literally just staple it or paper clip it or clip it, put it in the folder. Here you go. Here's my marketing presentation. There's a lot of ways of doing this. All right. Now, that right there is so powerful. I'm going to walk you through a great way to present this. Again, there's no right way or wrong way. And I've had agents tell me when they're presenting, what ends up happening is the homeowner will just read through it while you're talking or whatever. And notice it's like little summaries. It's really quick. It's a really easy read. It's like little summaries on every page, not a lot of text. We try to leverage images, bullet points. We want to make it easy. And so as you're going through this, you just mentioned, yeah, we're going to let the neighbors know that your home is for sale because a lot of times people in the area have friends and they come over, they love the home, they love the neighborhood. And so we're going to be making sure that we let all the neighbors know. We're going to be sending an email to our database, and we do that at every stage of the listing just to make sure our database knows, and we're going to invite them and get them to the open house if we do one and all of that. We're going to get some tools together so that you can let your sphere of influence know with tools designed to both engage them, but also to get your sphere to share. Because in this market, we don't want to leave any stones unturned. And so we want to make sure that we get as many eyeballs on your property as possible. Of course, before we had the Facebook ads and all the social media stuff and YouTube, we'll do short form videos, beautiful property websites and virtual tours, and beautiful listing flyers. And notice the domain, and they're going to love that domain. I'm telling you, that's why we highlight it. It was actually a client who said, hey, you guys got to highlight that because when I'm presenting this, homeowners love the domain, right? That right there just really gets them set off and triggered in like the best way, not a bad way, the best way. They love it. And so just if you're on the here, click it to show them and say, yeah, that's your property website. And we do professional photos, we do 3D tours, we do professional videos, right? If appropriate. And then when you get to here, have them scan the QR code, have them pull up their phone. You do it too. So do this ahead of time so that you know, right? Everything is good to go. Pull out your phone and scan it and invite them to do it with you. They may not know how to do it. So this is another beautiful time to add value, to build rapport with them. Pull out your phone. Okay, yeah. All right, go to photos. Okay, go to photos. And then you do it and then have them do it. And then boom, it pops up on their phone and they're absolutely tickled pink. And what's really cool is I've had people present this to younger tech savvy people. And I asked them, I said, what was the reaction to somebody that's younger and a little bit more tech savvy? And they were like, they love it too. So I don't care if they're older and they don't know how a QR code works. That's awesome. Because like I just shared with you, you get to sit there and walk them through it and their eyes are going to pop. They're going to smile. Yeah, if it's a couple, right, they may end up just going, oh my God, honey, look at this. Oh, look, that's our home. That's our home right there. Wow. Scott's already ready. He's already got the presentation. He's got the property website. Oh my God, Scott is amazing. They're going to be just so excited, which is what we want, right? We want them to get excited. Everything is mobile enabled. We do QR codes, right? We're going to be marketing your home across multiple channels at different stages. And then at this point, pay attention because now here comes a little bit of strategy. If you want to use it, if you don't, that's fine too. But pull out a notebook, have and a pen. At this point, you should know when do they want to be moved out by. So that is something you should already know, right? Hey, can you come over thinking about selling your house? Oh, great. When do you want to, where are you moving to? Or we're moving to Florida. We want to be with our grandkids or whatever it is. Or we're just downsizing and our house is too big, whatever it is, right? But try to make sure that you have a feel for when they would like to be to their new house. Did they already buy a new house? Are they going to be buying and selling at the same time? So you want to know all of this stuff. And so the point I'm getting to is today is April 2nd. So we walk into the listing presentation and it's April 2nd. And I always think I should do this ahead of time. Then I always end up doing it off the cuff, which is probably fine. So you're going to open up your notebook. You're going to say, okay, great. You know what? Today is April 2nd, and I'm writing this down. And you'd like to be out by, you want to be in your new place by before summer. So let's just say May 15th. All right. So May 15th. And typically there's a 30-day escrow. That's not going to work very well. Let's say June 15th. Let's say it's early summer. All right. So we'll say June 15th. So there's normally a 30-day escrow. So that'll put May 15th. We go into contract. We're going to do all the inspections. We're going to keep marketing your property through all of that. But typically escrow is going to be 30 days. So if you want to be moved out and closed on this home by June 15th, we'll want to be into contract by around May 15th. Does that make sense? Does that sound about right? And they're, yes. Oh yeah, that sounds great. Okay, good. Okay, great. Now Normal days on market right now is about 60, no, let's just say 45 days. So 45 days is average days on market. But as I go through this plan, and if we price it in this area, we could probably get that down to between 30 and 40 days. If we can get it down to 14 days, right, that would be perfect. And we're going to really market this. We're going to do an open house. We do the way we do open houses is we create an event around them and we invite everybody across all platforms. And we usually get a phenomenal turnout for the open houses. So potentially we could get it into contract if we do everything properly in 10 to 21 days. All right. And of course, these numbers are going to be your numbers, right? Your numbers are going to be different. I'm just trying to lay out the thought process here. All right. So let's just say 30 days. So that would say April 15th. All right. So April 15th, we want to go live. All right. So April 15th, and you should have done this a little bit ahead of time. Okay. So April 15th, so look at your calendar. April 18th is the 19th, 18th to the 19th is a weekend. I would like to do an open house because we can get dozens and dozens of people with the way we market open houses and the way we conduct open houses. We normally get a phenomenal turnout. All right. We use this program called Listings to Leads. No, don't tell them that. But you're going to use our open house marketing, of course, because that's going to help you get a lot of people there. Yeah, GL, I'll talk to that in a second here. Yep. Thank you for mentioning that. I'll address that. I'll show it's a button. We'll do that. And we're going to do the introduction as well. All right. So April 15th is when we want to be on the market. Now, I would recommend that because we want to do photos. We want to make sure the curb appeal looks great. We want to get everything dialed in and buttoned up so that we make sure when we hit the market on potentially April 15th, that your house is just launched to the moon. Would you agree that's a great idea? And they're going to keep saying, yes, yeah, that's a great idea. All right. Because you're laying this out in a way that makes a lot of sense. And they've already just seen your entire marketing plan. So you say, okay, great. Well, that's two. For today's April 2nd, I would really recommend 10 days to get everything dialed in would be awesome. If you wanted to say 12 days or 13 days to put it to today, even better. Right. So we know we want at least 10 days so that we're not rushing. We don't miss anything, that you're not inconvenienced too much, because we want to make sure that you are not inconvenienced and not bothered as we go through the sale. We want to make it as comfortable and as easy for you as possible. We really want to get started anytime between today and the 5th so that we can get through all the pre-marketing, right? The pre-setup, the actual marketing, the negotiation, the escrow, and the sale of your property by the time that you want to be out on June 15th. Does that make sense? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And you're writing this all down. They're seeing it, right? And they agree with it. And then you come back here and you go, okay, great. So super. So then it sounds like we'll do coming soon, starting anytime between today and April 5th. And then get another, yep. Okay, great. And then we'll do just listed. That's when we actually hit the market publicly. And again, I'm thinking April 15th would be about the date that we'd want to do that. Yep. Okay, great. Get them agreeing. We'll do the open house on April 18th and 19th. We'd like to do a 2-day open house, and we may do a neighborhood preview to invite all the neighbors. So again, they can let everybody they know. So we can get even more people talking about your home. Our goal is to create a buzz around your home throughout the neighborhood, throughout social media, throughout our database, all of it. All right. So that sounds great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds great. Super. And then hopefully after that, we should be able to get a offer. And if not, we're going to market the heck out of this property until we do. We don't stop. And then we're going to get a contract. We'll get an offer. We'll negotiate it. We do our negotiation. We protect you. We get you the best offer, the strongest offer possible. But even then, we are not going to stop marketing your home. And we'd like to get that started and pretty much done around May 15th. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then we're going to get your home sold and you're going to move on and it's going to be a beautiful thing. During the process, we're going to stay in touch with you with weekly traffic reports. We'll update you. You're going to have some things that you might be doing. We send you a text every week, or we do a phone call every week where we'll sit down for just a couple of minutes and update you with what we do. And hey, if you'd like to, please, I'd love to have you check my reviews. I got a few other things here. If you feel you'd like to take a look at them, you can, but there's absolutely no need to, because our job is to handle all of this for you and make this process as smooth and easy as possible. And you're gonna we'll just slide that listing agreement to them. All right. Now, of course, you're gonna mention price. Of course, you're gonna talk about your commission. Of course, you're gonna talk about some other things. But at this point, they are bought in. They're bought in, right? So you don't need to jump and do all of this stuff that a lot of people like to talk about, because they're going to trust you at this point. Does that make sense? Cindy, would you agree to that? Cindy, what is your feedback? 'Cause I know you presented this, I believe. Thanks, Cindy. Where's Cindy? Lisa, mine is not buffering. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and it looks like JL might not be, because he was commenting there, which is awesome. Thank you, JL. I appreciate that. All right, so two things that JL mentioned that I'm going to also mention. One is your introduction and coming soon. So for your introduction, go to, on the listing page, go to listing presentation, print, and introduction. So you can pop in your introduction right there. I've got in the mastermind group, hold on one second. Sorry. If I go here, I'm going to give you, oh, right there, introduction prompt. This is a phenomenal prompt. This is actually the one we use. Oh, I don't want insights. I want that. I'm going to click here. Boom. And I'm going to drop it in here, but I'm also going to bump it up. Be sure to get your introductions dialed in. So that should bump up near the top, but I'm going to put it right here. And so the idea is copy this prompt, right, all the way down right here, and then drop it into whatever your favorite AI program is. Put your bio below it, and then it's going to give you a beautiful introduction. It's going to be, especially for this, because this is for sellers. This is not for buyers. So it's going to be seller focused. It's going to talk about it's going to mention the 100-point home marketing plan. It's not going to use an M dash. It's going to be warm, professional, inspiring, and all of that kind of great stuff. It's going to be the right length. All right. It should be the right length for dropping in, because it's going to be 1,200 characters. So yeah, take a look at that introduction prompt, and you can see what mine looks like. Now, this will automatically add to the PDF. It'll automatically be in the Flipbooks. You don't need to do anything different or separate with it. And then while I'm here, let me just mention home selling process outline. This is a great little tool. Your picture, your logo will be at the bottom. All right. It's editable. It'll be your colors, your brand, right? Whatever your brand colors are will be there. Now, this is a different version. This is a standard basic version. I don't even use this. All right. I don't even use this. I use another one, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Now, for coming soon, so JL, everybody else, and here's the deal. I would leave coming soon in, even if you do not do coming soon as a official status, because when you heard me role play this, I did not refer to coming soon as I'm marketing your home at coming soon. I refer to coming soon in the getting your home ready, getting the photos done, getting the video done, getting the 3D tour done, right? Getting your home cleaned up and ready to present. So coming soon does not have to be, they're not going to know, right? A layperson, a homeowner, right? They're going to see coming soon. And if you can either talk through it like we do coming soon marketing, you can talk through it like that's when we prep, or you can use it as both. But I would leave coming soon in regardless. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, because I know some of you, you do not do active coming soon. You do not do coming soon marketing as a like a status. But like I just said, I would leave it in so that I can refer to it and there's a page, right, for me to talk to. And that is right here under settings. So click settings. You should be under preferences first, and I'm allowed to market coming soon listings. So just check that. Even if you're not, just have it checked. And then that way that page will be there. Make sense? All right. Now I'm going to go through a few random things to promote your 100 plus point home marketing plan. So first up, go to your media library, and it should put you on videos. Now, look, I apologize. If you're brand new to our system in the last 3 weeks, what you're looking at looks a little bit different than what I'm showing you. So if you're a new client, like in the last, again, 2 to 3 weeks, what you're looking at might be a little bit different because we have redone the entire platform, and we're just finishing up dotting some I's, crossing some T's, and we're going to be moving everybody over to the new platform probably sometime in April, probably sometime this month. But everything is almost very similar. So if you're brand new, what you're looking at looks very familiar, but it may just be a little bit different looking. Okay. If anything here you're having problems with, get with our support team, schedule a one-on-one so we can walk you through everything that you need so that you're not feeling a little bit left behind. Sandra says, I will be a new client. So is the media library for sharing? Oh, yeah. Sandra, check this out. And Sandra, I'll show you something here. What I want to show you is, check this out. There's 3 videos that you need to use. So check out this. You're going to download this video, upload it to TikTok and pin it, upload it to Instagram and pin it. I would upload it to Instagram stories every couple of weeks. Every couple of weeks, I would upload it to Instagram stories. This is a video vertical version, upload it to YouTube, right? YouTube short. And I would be marketing this little video on a regular basis. And you can see right here, I can download it, right? Click download and download it. There's 2 horizontal versions, all right? Long, short. This is a 5-minute video. Again, download this video, upload it to your YouTube channel. If you ever have an open house, agents will play this on a laptop, tablet, or even the seller's TV. All right. So what you do is you download this video and then you just upload it to your YouTube channel. All right. Upload it to your YouTube channel. When you look at our open house training, we talk about this, right? We talk about, hey, get that video and upload it to your YouTube channel and either play it off of your laptop, play it off of your tablet, or if you have access, all right, to the seller's TV. Now, if you're borrowing the listing, you won't be able to, but if it's your listing and you have a conversation, you just say, hey, listen, one of the things that we want to make sure that we do at our open house is make sure that we engage potential buyers for your home that have a home to sell, because it puts us in a stronger position to get them into your home. And so I'm going to be playing this video on the TV or on my laptop or on the tablet. That you don't have to mention it to them, but if you're going to ask for their TV, right? And so it allows me to engage those people coming through the open house that have a home to sell so that I can be their agent as well and really get them into your home, right? Try to get them into your home as much as possible, because my goal primary is to get your home sold. And so anything I can do to tighten the relationships with buyers coming through, with potential sellers coming through, and work with them as well now, right? Because if it's another agent, the other agent doesn't care about your home, right? I care about your home. And so I want to make sure that I am engaging all of these people as much as possible. Make sense? Yeah. Yeah, this video right here is a banger. This is so awesome. Now, so get those videos. Now, here's another thing. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. And because I'm going to show you something else next. Yeah, yes, perfect. Check this out. Does that look familiar? Check this out. That's TikTok. Now, this could be Instagram. This could be YouTube Shorts. Does that look familiar? That is, I just got my camera or get somebody to with the phone, and I just recorded myself flipping my presentation, and I just promote it on my socials. That's pretty cool. And there's a lot of different variations. You could do this once a week. Once a week, I could do a different variation of this with a different kind of call to action. So there's so many ways of promoting this. And there's nothing like now, the Flipbook version is awesome. And send it via text, send it via email. There's a lot of great use cases of it. But having a printed copy like this and then doing what I just did is absolutely awesome as well. So there's, and again, do that for Instagram, do it for TikTok, do it as an Instagram reel, Instagram post, Instagram story. Instagram stories go over to Facebook. So you're going to get a lot of coverage from there as well. So that's another great use case for promoting a 100-point home marketing plan. And then on the listing presentation, if I scroll down, you might do if you got custom audiences or want to do a retargeting ad on Facebook, this could be great. So check this out. Video views, custom audience. Let's say I got my database as a custom audience. Daily budget, $1. I could even be crazy and go to $2 a day, right? For one month, it goes for 30 days. Now I can go to 1 week, right? I can change ending to 1 week. Under advanced options, I don't know why location's under advanced options, but whatever. And check this out. Check this out. This is so cool. I can skip all that. And so that could be an ad. Now I could also do lead ad. Oh, I know why I'm sorry. Location was under advanced options because if I'm going to do a custom audience, I'm not going to do the location. I can, but you don't need to. So anyways, so I could go to lead ad. Check this out, lead ad. And I can still do, excuse me, I can still do under advanced options, again, seller, retarget to seller. I can also click instant form and customize my questions. So that's all Facebook ads, the default questions for sellers. What's your time frame to sell? Curious what your home could sell for right now. And see how my 100+ point home marketing plan works for your home. So when I do an ad for a pending listing, a just sold listing, home value, cash offer, seller guide, this right here, those 3 questions are going to be default. Now I can change them. You can see there's a number of different options I've got for that, but this can be a great way, right? So I got my custom audience. So maybe I got my database, maybe I've got custom audience from somewhere else. And then again, I can go daily budget, $2. And that way I'm just staying in front of my database or my custom audience on a regular basis on the cheap. Now, I'm not going to generate a ton of leads from that, but what it's going to do is going to keep me in front of my audience on Facebook and Instagram. And that way, when I'm doing emails, when I'm doing direct mail, when I'm doing all of these other things, my name is just out there a lot more. And I can totally generate leads because when they click it, it's got the Facebook lead form right there. You can do Google ads. I don't know a lot of people that have done Google ads with this. Social media posts. I would post this to my social. I would post this to my social media every couple of weeks, every month. All right. Every couple of weeks, every month, I would come in here and I would post this up to my social media and change it up every so often. Right. For example, I could even put 46 homes sold in Folsom in March. If you want to get your home sold for top dollar, get our, I guess I messed that up. There you go. Get our 100 point, I'm going to say home marketing plan, right? That'd be a phenomenal, just a free social media post. I can change the headline, change the description. I can change the image if I wanted to. There's an e-flyer for your database. I would get this e-flyer. I would send this e-flyer to my database once a month. The call scripts print flyer. So when I do an open house, I print that up and I have that at my open house. All right. In fact, at my open house, I'm going to tell you one other thing I take with me. Now, you may be borrowing a listing to hold open. You may have an open house for a listing that you've already got. I'm going to show you right next how to create this for your general area. All right. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. But last part here is we got postcards and door hangers. All right. So we got postcards and door hangers. Also, let me just mention under more tools, remember the email that I was referring to at the beginning of this call, where the email has a link to the agent website where they can download your 100 point home marketing plan, and they can also get a home value, a lot of other great stuff. On the listings dashboard, you got listings, listing presentation, more tools. And under more tools, agent website. And if I click view, that's that website. And so you could just put this link in. So what I'm getting to, if you're doing if you have a newsletter, all right, maybe you got a beautiful newsletter, it's in constant contact or whatever, and you don't want to have a separate email, but you want to include something like this in your current email newsletter, just grab the link, grab the same image, right, that we've got in here for it, put that image or another image in your email newsletter linking to that. And then that way you can get more people to it. Yeah, JL, you know what? A little bit later in the mastermind group, I'll post where it is in the new system. All right, JL, are you in the new system? I assume, JL, you might be in the new system. Yes. Okay. Yeah, dude. And I apologize, but it's going to be awesome because, again, it's quicker. We have a lot of development going on. We got TikTok integrations. We got other things that we're doing, a lot of other things. But yeah, JL, do me a favor. If you're on the new system, write this down. Success, SUCCESS, success at listings, LISTING. You know what? Let me just give it to you. It's success at listings2leads.com. Success at listings2leads.com. So send an email to that and ask for a one-on-one. Just say, hey, I'm in the new system. Or you can just ask support or ask us if you'd rather do that. But yeah, we'll get you squared away, dude. We'll get you squared away, JL. Yes. So check this out. Very important. I'm going to get this done in 2 to 3 minutes. All right. So check this out. I'm going to create this for my general area. Now you got the 100 point home marketing plan, but I want to make this even more dialed in to my area. All right. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's fine. I appreciate it. So we're going to go back to listings, add listing, manual, just like we did before. We're going to select listing presentation, just like we did before. We're not going to put anything for seller name because there's no seller. So this is a little bit different. So pay attention. There's a few differences here. Here we are going to put a headline. I'm going to put the plus point So that's the headline. Remember, for a particular home, I don't do the headline because that's going to replace what was the address if you do that. Street, a beautiful home. So put a beautiful home. All right. Kimberly, you're in the new system. If you see what I see, but it just looks a little bit different, or you're missing more tools, apparently. Yeah. But if everything looks like the exact same as what I'm doing, then you're on the current system. All right. So again, headline, skip seller name, skip seller email. Instead of street address, do a beautiful home. For the city, put the general area. So I'm going to put El Dorado County, or I could, Northern California. Now I got to do state and zip, but that's not going to show up anywhere. I'm going to uncheck separate listing address because that's not really a listing address. I'm going to skip all of that still. Save and add photos, upload images. Now I'm going to show you upload. Yeah, perfect. All right. You see that image right there? That image was for a client's sold listing. So that was a sold listing of a client, and we were creating the expired flipbooks, the expired presentations for them. And so we threw that image into Chat GPT, and we said, wait, is that the image? No, wait, let me see. Was it? It's this one. All right. So that's the one that we threw into Chat GPT. And I say, hey, give me an image like this, but make it summertime. Because you can see you got the chimney, right? See the chimney and the general roof line. And I said, make it like summertime, shoot it from the front, change the color a little bit, change the entryway, change the landscaping, and make it look like a beautiful real estate professionally shot photo. All right. Because I don't like to use even a sold listing. Plus that photograph is all right. So I want to get a photo that's representative of my area. So I want people to look at that photo and go, oh yeah, I don't know which house it is, but yeah, that looks like a house in the area. I don't want some stock image, right? I don't want to use somebody else's home in my marketing unless it's their home I'm marketing, but in this case it's not. So I just use ChatGPT. And again, I just threw in this image and I just described how I wanted it to change. Again, make it look like summertime, move it so that it's more of a direct photo of the front of the house, minimize the driveway, change the landscaping, change the color from tan to gray. And I always say, change the entryway. And if it's a one door garage, I say make it 2. And if it's 2, I say make it 1. That way, because garage doors are pretty noticeable. So I always go from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1 here. And then that way you get pretty much a unique image, but that is recognizable of the area. And I always want to be a home that is aspirational. I don't want to be $4 million. That's not aspirational. That's intimidating. Unless that's your luxury market. And then we're going to click through. Look at that. So now, see where it says a beautiful home, Northern California. The last thing I'm going to do that's different again is, and you'll notice this when you see the page for print flyer, is the domain right here. If you don't do this, it's not the end of the world. But instead of being like the street address, now it says a beautiful 42, which not the end of the world. But I would rather go your NorCal home. And I get all these different domains. And now that on the listing flyer page, right, where it's in yellow, instead of a beautiful 42, which whatever, not the end of the world, but I'd rather say your NorCal home, best home in America. So now when that generates, so let's go take a look at one. And because this is huge, take this to your open house. Listings. So here, listing presentation, a beautiful home, Placer, El Dorado County. Again, just click on the address. That is so sad. I must have done something to change that. Anyways, that's going to give us, it's going to give us the same flipbook. But instead of having the name and email or the name and address on the cover, it's going to say in that blue bar, the 100 plus point home marketing plan to get your home sold. And then when you go through here, and I'll go to the page, instead of saying 947 Elm Drive, Folsom, California, it would say a beautiful home, Northern California. Does that make sense? Can you visualize that? And I like to have that for my general seller leads. So if I'm going to an open house, I want to have one of these, and I'll show you what it looks like. I think I've got one. Yeah. So you see how that is right there? And instead of the address and name in that blue bar, it says like the 100 plus point home marketing plan to get your Northern California home sold. And now when I'm at an open house, or if I got a seller lead where I don't want to create a specific one, but I want to show them what I've got, maybe I leave it in my car, I've got this always available, and it's appropriate for anybody. But at an open house, real quick, let me end with this. When you're at an open house, have one of these laying around, and after people sign into your open house, you do a little chit chat with them, just to mention, say, hey, my 100 plus point home marketing plan to get home sold is sitting on the table over there. If you want to take a look at it, feel free. Because what's going to happen is people that own a home are going to go, oh, you have a 100 plus point home marketing plan? Yeah, I'd love to see that. And they're going to walk over, they're going to start looking at it. They're going to, it's casual, and then be cool. Don't scare them. But you might just mention, yeah, it's a great marketing plan. If you're not totally opposed to it, I would love to send you a copy via text or email and see what they say, right? Or word that a little bit differently. But to have the hard copy, a physical copy at your open house, and then mention it, right? People will self-select. If they're a renter, what would they care? They're not going to care. But if they own a home, even if they're not thinking about selling, I still want you in my database. I still want to be interacting and engaging with you, even if you're not selling soon, right? You're going to sell at some point. And some of these people coming through the open house are selling. They're going to be selling. And so I want them, again, my listing presentation, I want this at my open house. Yeah, JL, right? It can range anywhere from 20 to 40%. Yeah. And let's say 40%, if I can engage 10% of them, that's 2 to 3 people potentially per open house, depending on how I'm marketing it and everything, that I'm going to get into my database and my orbit and my system and my sphere of engagement by using this. And that's why I talked about the video. Remember, in the media library, using the video and also having the physical hard copy. Yep. All right. I'll let everybody go. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, if you can, go ahead and click on the post-webinar survey link. Let me know how we are doing. And then the last thing I'll mention is the affiliate program. All right, don't forget to share your referral link, 15% recurring, no cap, no limit. We love it when people share listings to leads with other people. Get a benefit out of it. Share your affiliate link because there's no caps. 15%, you get paid the same day we get paid. All right. Awesome. Kat, thank you so much. Make sure you get into the mastermind group. Grab those emails. All right. Don't forget, get those 2 emails out the door in the next 30 to 45 minutes if possible. All right. And then let me know in the mastermind group if you need any help. And then JL, everybody else, if you need, send an email to success@listings2leads.com. Let us know that you need a quick walkthrough on the new system, and we'll make sure that you're dialed in and off and running. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful day.